You can't go back and fix things. You can't go back and undo the things that happened. Even if you feel guilty that perhaps it was your fault this happened. Perhaps you shouldn't have criticized them that harshly. Perhaps you shouldn't have called them out. Perhaps you should have given them the space and respected it. No. You did what you did, and that's just what you did. You can't go back and change that. The narcissist did what they always do. And no matter what you would have done, the outcome would have been the same. Albeit sooner, maybe later, but the same thing would have happened. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Psychopath Exposure. My name is Kita, and it's 2023. New year, new me. It's the mentality out there. For a lot of you, it means finally breaking free from your toxic relationship, finally putting behind you the trauma, the rumination, the obsession, the sadness, the depression, the anxiety, and finally making a decision to say, hey, you know what? If I keep doing the same things I did last year, I'm going to keep getting the same thing that I got over and over and over again. And if that's where you are right now in your recovery, in your healing journey from narcissistic abuse, that's awesome. Keep moving forward. It's not always going to be easy. There's going to be hills and valleys, ups and downs. But keep moving forward. You're on the right path. Unfortunately, the flip side to this, a lot of people feel it's a new year. Let's leave the past behind us. Let bygones be bygones. Let's forgive. Let's forget. And let's give it one more shot. And you know, when you're dealing with narcissists, when you're dealing with borderlines, cluster B, personality disorders, psychopaths, one more shot could be the end of you. Figuratively, what's the other word if it's not figuratively? I'm going to have to get back to you on that one. Slipped my mind. But I wanted to read a comment that Stephanie left on the channel today. It really caught my eye. Stephanie goes, "Please do not go back to this trash. They will never change. The new supply doesn't mean anything to them other than a sexual bridge to the next supply. It only took me a few months to get over being cheated on, especially when my narc husband abused me physically, emotionally, and financially. His new supply, who also cheated on her husband, said I deserved everything I got. Who says that? Trash attracts trash. I love this, by the way. If you were abused in the discard process, they will abuse you more if you go back and may even send you back to your maker. Please believe them." What the hell? "No relationship is worth going back to that may end your life. These people are trash, disgusting, and have nothing to offer you. There are millions of healthy people in this world that will love to give you a healthy relationship." Thanks for the truth, Stephanie. I appreciate that. I really do. I hope you're also on the right path. I like how it only took you a few months to get over your abuse, your husband, your ex-husband, your narcissist husband. I know it takes a lot longer to fully heal from that, but I like that you said it only took you a few months. You know why? Because that communicates that in a short span of time, you were on your feet, getting on with your life. And I know that even when you say that, it's not like the trauma just went away or you forgot what you went through, because this type of trauma stays with you pretty much forever. You have to learn how to navigate through it, how to rewire some of the triggers. But it stays with you. The psychological trauma stays with you. But within a few months, you were, like you said, you were over it. I'm pretty sure you were over letting this have power over you, and you were moving forward with your life. And I think it's important to talk about these things, to give people hope and let them know, hey, it doesn't have to take you 5 years, 10 years. It doesn't have to take you half the distance of the relationship. Like they say, when you break up with somebody, it's going to take you half the time of the total relationship to get over them. I don't know if that's true or not. This type of thing, I can tell you that after 2 years, I wasn't even entertaining any type of thoughts of my psychopath ex. I would wake up in the morning, days would go by and wouldn't even think about her. It was around the 2-year mark that I noticed how long it had been that she even popped in my head. But before that time, that's not to say that I was still in hell. No, not at all. Not at all. I was already dating. I was already having fun. I was traveling. I was doing things that I loved. It's pretty much like you said, and within a few months, actually sooner than that, I was forcing myself to go out there and do stuff. I had to do things. I had to move my body. I had to force myself, force myself to do the things that I once loved, that I had forgotten that I once loved, because I was so caught up in the rumination, in that downward spiral, in that psycho cycle that's spinning and spinning in your mind. And I got up. I was like, no, I drew that line in the sand. And from that day forward, everything I did had an intent of getting better, an intent of healing, an intent of being better than I was the day before. And that's what you guys got to do. No matter how hard it is, you're still here. You're still alive. What are you going to do with that time? What matters is what you do moving forward. You can't go back and change history. You can't go back and fix things. You can't go back and undo the things that happened. Even if you feel guilty that perhaps it was your fault this happened. Perhaps you shouldn't have criticized them that harshly. Perhaps you shouldn't have called them out. Perhaps you should have given them the space and respected it. No. You did what you did, and that's just what you did. You can't go back and change that. The narcissist did what they always do. And no matter what you would have done, the outcome would have been the same. Albeit sooner, maybe later, but the same thing would have happened. Because these type of people, they follow the same patterns. And it has nothing to do with you. It has everything to do with them. Their demons, their trauma, their avoidant personalities that they have, abandon you before you abandon them type of thing. Never being good enough because they have such high standards. Whatever it is, you name it. They're going to repeat those patterns over and over and over again. And it's disheartening when you find out how quickly they monkey branched to the new supply. But as Stephanie said here, the new supply is just a sexual bridge to the next supply. A lot of times when you've been dating a narcissist for a significant amount of time, especially if you've been married to them, when they monkey branch to someone new, it's temporary. And what I mean by temporary, I don't mean a couple of weeks. It could be 6 months, it could be a year or two. But it's not going to have the longevity that your relationship had. And even for those that were with the narcissist for such a short time, you may have been that sexual bridge. You may have been that sexual bridge, and that's okay. What's important is that you're out. What's important is that you're no longer with these predators anymore. That's what's important. So they're using the new supply to rebuild themselves. They're using the new supply to help them get back the confidence that supposedly you stole from them, because the narcissist is going to smear your name and they're going to tell the new supply that you were abusive and that you're a narcissist, selfish. God knows what they're going to make up. They're going to say all that, all my exes, all of them, all my exes, and this ex this and this ex that. And the new supply that has no idea what's going on, they're going to be like, yeah, that's right. They were a jerk. Yeah, that's right. You deserve better. Like you said, the new supply actually told you that you got what you deserve. I mean, why are you guys even talking? She cheated on her husband, and he cheated on you. So, two trashy people getting together to knock some boots. That's not going anywhere. They're gonna destroy each other. That's a recipe for disaster. And when you see that, you got to think to yourself, wow, like that's the person that I was married to? That's the person that I was devoted to? That's what they did? They jumped into a situation like that? A dirty situation, because to me, that's a dirty situation. Like you have your baggage, but you're getting together with someone that shares that same baggage. So both of you are toxic. Toxic, you know? Toxic, that's a nice play on word. Trash attracts trash. Let it go. Let it go and make this new year all about you. And yeah, that sounds selfish. Healing is a very selfish act, let me tell you. If anyone has ever been in a 12-step recovery program, like Alcoholics Anonymous, Narcotics Anonymous, CODA, things like that, you'll learn very quickly that it's a selfish program. And selfish doesn't have to connotate a negative definition. Selfish can be great when the energy and the intent behind it is positive and healing. Sometimes the very same act can have a flip side. Isn't that interesting? What seems bad now, later could be the best thing that ever happened to you, and vice versa. Sometimes what's amazing now turns out to be hell a few months down the line. So take the time that you need to heal. Be a little selfish. You got to tell some friends no. You can't be there for that party. You can't be there to absorb their negative energy because you got to take care of you. That's fine. Do that. Don't answer the phone. Put your phone on silent. Take time for you. Take time for yourself. You know how the narcissist says they need time for themselves, but all they're doing is cheating on you behind your back? Like lead by example. You need time for yourself. Put it to good use. Put it to good use. And over time, that investment that you make on yourself is going to pay off dividends. Believe me, if you go back to a narcissist that discarded you, and during the discard phase was abusing you, belittling you, gaslighting, confusing you, just making you feel like utter garbage, you're going to go back to that? What do you think is going to happen? I can tell you from experience. And just read the comments on this community of people that go back for the 1,000th time. They go back. It always gets worse. Why? Because that's the pattern. And you have to study past behavior to predict future behavior. You can't live in the delusion that someone is getting progressively worse and then overnight they're just going to flip a complete 180 and be totally awesome to you. That's just not reality. That's a delusion. And you see it for those that have gone back to the narcissist after the discard. Haven't you noticed that their futile attempts to reconcile things, to I wouldn't even say love bomb, because they don't really love bomb you as hard as they did at the beginning anymore. But whatever efforts they make to get you back seems, it's like they're not even that invested in their attempts at that point. It's kind of like, yeah, okay, so we've done this before. We've broken up. I've discarded you. You've come back. And they're thinking to themselves, well, I don't have to put much effort after the 17th time, because they already expect that no matter what they do, you guys are going to gravitate back to each other somehow. They know it. So why put maximum effort to try and lure you back anymore when time and time again you've shown that they can just give you a little breadcrumb and you're back? So the abuse that normally comes after you get back with them, it comes a lot sooner. At the beginning, there was a little grace period and things were good, and they led you to believe that things were going to be good and that they had changed. And then the whole cycle would start again. By the time you've gone back over and over and over again, that it might even take a day. After 24 hours, they're back up to their old shenanigans again. As a matter of fact, a lot of times they'll be making the Hoover attempt and they're at the other supply's house, already contacting you, already planning the escape, planning the return to you or something. They're already coming back to you, and they haven't finalized things with the other person. They wanted to test the waters. They wanted to make sure that you're going to take them back, especially those that are living with you, those that are living with you rent-free. They want to make sure that they can get back in the guest house before getting rid of the other person. They want to make sure that. And then once they're there, then they go and they discard the other person in a drastic way. And the other person has no idea what just happened. And from their point of view, now they find out, oh, they're already living with another person. Of course, that's the pattern. That from their point of view, they're experiencing what you experienced. Now you're experiencing the same thing that you've been getting because you keep going back to them. But the outsider, the one that's looking from like the fourth dimension, looking down and seeing this whole thing from beginning to end at the same time, it's amazing. Because you could see the beginning, you can see the end, you can scroll back, and you're just watching it. But the person that's going through it, they're so, like, they have it right here. You're too close to the situation. You need perspective. That's why you need to break up with these people and not go back, so that you can give yourself time away for the smoke and the fog to clear, for the brain fog to clear, so that you can have a little clarity. And then you realize, oh, wow, I should have seen it all along. It was right in front of my face. Damn right it was. Damn right it was. But you can't have clarity if you're still involved with the demon, with the black magician that's throwing all the smoke in your face. You can't do it. You can't detox from poison if you're continuing to drink poison. So make this new year, use this opportunity to do something different. What do you got to lose? Worst case scenario. Worst case scenario, you'll be back in the same place that you've already been. That's the worst case scenario. But at least you tried something different. If you do the same thing, in other words, giving the narcissist another chance, letting them back into your life, if you do that, oh, Kita, so isn't that I'm going to be in the same place? No, you won't. When you do that, you're going to be in a worse place. So listen to what I said. Do something different. Maybe that doesn't result in any change and you'll be right where you are right now. But go back to those losers and things are just going to keep spiraling down. Out of control. Remember, the narcissist has total control when you take them back. You think you're in control. That's an illusion. They're the ones in control. They're the abusers, and you took them back. Who's in control? All right? If you'd like to work with me, if you need help, starting your new year right, coming up with solutions instead of dwelling on the same problem and feeling like there's no way out, there's no escape, which is complete nonsense, then schedule a private one-on-one coaching with me. I have a link below in the description. You can get more information about how the program works, see if we're a good fit for each other. And you don't have to do this alone. You'll feel good to have someone that's in your corner, that's been through the trenches. And just read the comments in this community and you see how many people like Stephanie have gone through some really rough times and have come out of it. They've come out of it on the other side. They've lived to tell the tale and they're moving forward and they're getting on with their life. Believe me, when you get out of this situation and things start turning for the better for you, it feels awesome. But you'll never know that until you try it. You can't live in that fear of the unknown. Like, oh no, what if I can't meet anybody else? What if I'm alone for the rest of my life? You know, being alone with a dog or a cat, with a musical instrument, painting, even watching your favorite Netflix shows, playing solitaire, playing Chinese checkers by yourself and turning the board over when it's the other person's turn. That sounds better than being in a marriage or in a relationship with someone that's abusing you day in and day out. Someone that's causing all sorts of anxiety, stress, panic attacks, keeping you walking on eggshells, feeling like you're never good enough, feeling like at any moment they're just gonna get up and leave you and abandon you. It's really not a bad thing. When you can learn to be happy by yourself and enjoy the infinite things that you can do in this life to find fulfillment, then a narcissist is not going to have any power over you. Nobody's going to have any power over you because you don't really need them to find fulfillment. and then that's when you meet the one, if there's such thing as the one. Could be the temporary one, and see how that relationship goes. That's when they appear. When you're no longer looking for it, you're not rejecting it, but you're no longer looking for it because you don't need it, like you need air. That's when you meet your twin flame. That's when you meet them. And again, maybe you meet them and it's not the right time for you. Maybe the situations don't work in your favor in this lifetime. So be it. But at least you met them. What you got to lose? Try it. And if you're not completely satisfied, I'll refund you your misery. That's a promise. All right, guys, I hope you got some value out of the video. Please like, share, and subscribe if this is your first time on the channel. Definitely share the video with anybody that you feel might need this type of kick in the butt on New Year's, on the New Year, because New Year's already passed. And by the time some of you watch this video, it may be 2027. But keep moving forward, guys. Make today the best day possible with what you've been given. All right? Like Vanilla Ice says, yesterday's history and tomorrow's a mystery. All you got is today. Live for the moment. This is Kira. This is Psychopath Exposure. And this is Farewell. Till the next video.